Hi everyone, Maria here, Restore Balance and Harmony. I'm jumping on, it's like midnight and I've just had this epiphany, so I thought I would get on and record this because it may not be in my brain in the morning, but I wanted to share with you that I've just had this realization that for so long I've missed a piece of my story. I've been working and going back through and thinking about where I've been and what I've been through and how far I've come. I've got some really exciting stuff coming up, and I might tell you about that in a week or so when we've got it all sorted. But when I was thinking about this, I just realised that there's this one piece that's really, really important that I haven't talked about. Now, it wasn't that I had been hiding this part of my story. I literally had forgot that this was something that was so incredibly ingrained and important in where I was and why I stayed there. And that is shame. And it occurred to me that that may be a reason why there are so many women who do not reach out or do not share their struggle because they feel shame around that. Or maybe it's embarrassment, maybe it's something else, but along those lines that, we don't want to tell people where we are or what we're going through because there's some kind of stigma attached. And I know that especially when you're a teenager, when you're 18, 19, 20, when you're trying to put your best foot forward and you're trying to get along and make friends, you can feel really guilty or embarrassed or shame around you not being what you think you should be. I struggled with I would always put on a happy face when I was out, when I was around people. I was able to give them the best of me. But as soon as I was on my own, there was this massive sadness, this hole in me. And I couldn't explain it. I couldn't work it out. I don't know where it come from. I didn't know why it was there. But I didn't tell anybody what I was feeling or what I was going through. And there was definitely, now looking back, there was shame around what I was feeling and that I wasn't able to cope, that I wasn't able to be, the best version of me, that I wasn't able to do what I thought or be what I thought everybody else was. And now, being where I am and doing what I do, I speak to women all the time. And I know that for just about every woman that I have spoke to, at some point in their life, they've really, really struggled, or they've thought that they're the only one who is feeling the way that they're feeling. I can't tell anybody else because they won't understand. Nobody knows what it's like to feel this, whatever it is for you. It could be pain, sadness, could be fear and hurt and anger and frustration. That grief and that overwhelm that I'm not good enough, I don't fit in. There's a zillion things that go around in our female mind, and we're not alone in this journey. We're not alone in being and having this noise that goes around in our head, and we're not alone in feeling that shame, that embarrassment, that feeling that we're not as good as everyone else, or we can't, do it as well as everybody else. We can't cope like everybody else. We're thinking or believing that everybody else are a certain way, but you know what? They're the same as what we are. Everybody has some kind of noise going around in their head. And I honestly had completely forgot until I was working through this part of my story that shame had been such a big part of it. And the reason why I forgot is because Creatrix is that damn good that I had released that. It no longer holds any charge. I no longer feel that anywhere in my body. And I can tell you there's probably a lot of other emotions that I had originally that I really don't know or can't remember because Creatrix is that damn good. Okay. So if this is what you're feeling, if this is why you are afraid to reach out to speak to somebody because you have this fear that people will judge you, or this shame, this worry about what people will think, you know what? Get rid of it. Your life is so much easier when we can release this stuff. And that's what it is. It's stuff. It's emotions. Yes. And there are layer upon layer upon layer. And I say that all the time. But there are tools that can, I'm sorry, I'm looking over here. I've got moths flying around everywhere. We have a tool that can release this in the fastest possible way. Okay, it is so very, very, very complex in its design, but it is so easy for the end user to be able to do that and release that. And it literally has an impact on the body, like the feelings and the emotions that you have, and they sit and they weigh you down. To release that, to feel lighter, to feel able to stand up straight. You notice your face smiles and you have a physical difference in your body when you release these emotions. And that is a really, really, really big one, and is something that we have had as women for generations. We're taught to feel shameful about our cycle, for goodness sake. We feel, we're made to feel, or we are shamed for breastfeeding in public and doing all sorts of things that are natural things for women. So shame is a really, really big thing for women, and it's one that I've actually haven't spoke about before. And it occurred to me, and I'm brushing my teeth and getting ready for bed, and I think, oh my God. As I'm, running around the day's events and what I've got to do tomorrow and everything that I'm doing, and it's just hit me that this could be the reason why there are so many women holding back from literally owning what is going on and then getting rid of it. Okay? Don't let that stop you from living your best life. Get rid of it. And I mean, it can be gone in a session, in a couple of hours, ladies, okay? And there are a lot of other emotions, and I just mentioned a couple, but when you start to say, you know what, that is something that's blocking me. I feel this, and then I feel that, and then I feel hate, then I feel anger, and all of these things that we're told we're not supposed to feel. We're not supposed to feel hate. Hey, you don't say that about anyone. I don't hate anyone. That's not, you're not supposed to say that. Doesn't mean we don't feel it. It's an emotion just like love. Okay, they're all emotions, and they're there whether we admit it to ourselves or not. They're there, and they're having an effect on us, on our body, on our thoughts, on how we live our life. So whatever they are, sit down, girls, take some time to ask yourself, what am I feeling? What is going on? What are the thoughts that are continually running around my head? Get them down and onto paper and see how many are there. See what you are holding on to that is causing you, physical pain even. But it has a weight. It has a feeling in your body. And it really does make a difference when you can let that go. The feeling is joy. Okay? It gets us back. If I could, say what it feels like. I spend time with my nephew, and I've done it with all the nieces and nephews, but when they're that 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, they have their moments where they have a tantrum, of course, but for the most part, they're filled with joy. Okay, they have excitement and curiosity and fun and freedom. And that is what I can remember when I look at photos. I can feel that in my body. When I look at photos of me when I was 2 and 3 years old, I can feel that. And I feel like I have that joy again. Being able to release all those emotions doesn't mean that I'm happy every day. That's different. But joy is something different to happiness, okay? Happiness is a choice, and we can choose that. And we have moments where we're sad, and we have moments where we're angry, and we have moments, okay? But they don't last for me now, okay? With this inner wisdom and this joy that I have, I can experience these things and have moments of negative emotion, but this other stuff kicks in and it doesn't stick around, you know? And that's what I want for everyone that I know and those that I don't know. If you want to feel better about your life, you want to feel joy, you want to have that ability to stay in a place where those negative emotions don't stick and weigh you down and cause you pain and be spreading all this bad energy out to the rest of the world and everyone around you. And this, reach out and have a conversation with me. This is what you want. And I know, you know what, people might get sick of hearing me say it, but I feel like I was led here. I experienced this and I know what it feels like on the other side. And it feels so damn good. I want to tell everybody about it because I think every woman should feel this freedom. I truly, truly do. And when we stick and we try all of those male bone processes and we try medications and all of these things that don't fucking work, and we feel like nothing's ever going to change. I talk to women all the time and they say, don't believe you. It sounds too good to be true. I'm telling you what I feel and I see the results. I see women change their life all the time, every day. There's been thousands of women. And this, is going to be huge. This is the tool for women. This is the transformational tool that can, if more women reach out and take that leap of faith, it can change the world. Because when you change you change everyone around you. That effect on that energy, on your vibration, on your everything about you, the way that you speak, the way that you act, the way that you stand, the tone of your voice, everything about you, when you don't have that negative energy, it ripples out and changes everyone. So I will leave it there, okay? Shame, it is a terrible, terrible thing, and it can hold you back. And cause all sorts of pain. And it is something that you do not have to live with. You do not have to feel, okay? Simply get rid of it in an instant, okay? But you have to choose. Make a choice to make a change. Put your hand up. Say, you know what? I want to feel like that. I want to have that freedom. I want to have that joy that is going to be running my life instead of whatever it is that is now. Okay, so, reach out and have a chat. See what happens. Can't hurt. So I am going to go to bed now. Bye.